Hey everyone, Pastor George here with a recap of what we talked about today in Bible study. Today in Bible study, we looked at Matthew chapter 2, and I thought it would be appropriate because it's my favorite of the two kind of Christmas narratives, but also we did not have wise men in our um, nativity play last Sunday. And so we talked a little bit about that and why that is. Essentially because people are divided about whether or not they were there, with a lot of people thinking, people being scholars, thinking that actually the wise men showed up much later when Jesus was a toddler. And so we talked a little bit about that, but that actually isn't why I chose it. I chose it because of the way that Joseph and the wise men are sometimes presented, but especially Joseph, as kind of being a guy who is, doubtful, uncertain, untrusting. And this is mainly in like movies and popular culture about how Joseph is presented, plays, things like that. And we looked at Matthew 2, and what you see actually kind of over and over with Joseph is that he gets a dream and then immediately he does what God has commanded him to do. He actually doesn't wait at all. He understands what God has called him to do and he does it. There isn't a lot of like dragging of feet or anything like that. And if you look back at chapter 1, you see that happen there as well. So you actually have this really kind of brave face Joseph that we normally don't see. And he also takes his family and takes them to Egypt, on this really perilous journey, right? And then we contrasted, or not contrasted, but compared that to the journey that the wise men make. And basically, the point here being is that the wise men are non-Jews from this other place who know of this prophecy and go to worship this king, right? That they know nothing about other than that he's going to be extremely important. And they make this massive journey across this incredibly far distance and put themselves in danger, in peril in order to get there. And then they're rewarded, and then they kind of head back, right? Rewarded in their faith, and they head back without having to face any danger. And the question is kind of raised here, which is like, how far would we go to serve Christ, right? How far would we go to, what type of danger, what type of difficulty would we put ourselves in to go and worship him? Because that's what the wise men do, right? And the difficulty there is like, it really comes down to would we do it? And I think for many of us, it can be a difficult thing to ask because maybe not, right? And then like why that is. And so the Christmas story reminds us that, especially the way it is told with the wise men and with Joseph, is that we are called to do things by God, and we go and we do them, right? We give up things, we face very difficult circumstances, and we do that because God has called us to it. And this isn't just something that happens in the Christmas season, right? This is actually one of the ways that the Christmas story really parallels well with the rest of Jesus' teaching, because Jesus is consistently telling his disciples, you have to deny yourselves and follow me, things like that, right? So it's a consistent theme that we hear throughout Christianity, and into, the whole life of the Christian church, even today. So just something to think about in the Christmas season. And yeah, that's what we talked about today. That's all I have to share with you guys. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday, and I will see you tomorrow here on the channel for a mailbag. Good question for tomorrow, and then of course Friday for our Christmas Eve services, and Sunday for our normal service. It's the Lord's Day. We're not stopping it because there isn't there was service already. We're gonna keep going. So I'll see you on Sunday as well. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday. Peace out.